So, I've gone and got myself into a little bit of a pickle. I've been in this pickle for about a year now, and I'm a little bit excited because I have a feeling I've figured out how to escape the pickle. Now, I don't want to speak too soon because I have thought that before, and then I've gone and done things that haven't been right. So, this pickle, it's one of those multi-layered, multifaceted, multi-dimensional existential pickles, right? And when I first realised that I was inside it, and it all kind of happened quite quickly, I suddenly realised I was inside this pickle, and I was like, well, this is a massive existential pickle. So if I stop existing, then this pickle will be over. So what I did was I tried to kill myself. And I tried a few different ways. And I tried quite hard, to be honest. But I fucked it up because I'm still here. And, I'm glad. I'm glad that I tried because it just can kind of put things in perspective a bit. But I'm also really glad that I survived because it would have been just indescribably horrible for everyone who loves me, especially my family. And I won't go into the details of what happened. I'll just say that it was really bad. I made a massive mess and created an enormous amount of trauma for myself and for the people around me. And it was just pretty awful, right? So I spent a little while recovering from that. And then I thought, right, I'm still in this pickle. I still need to get out of it. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ride my bike out of it. Just ride out. And so I strapped a load of things to my bike and I just fucking started pedaling. And my plan was, or my hope, I suppose, was that there'd come a point where I'm riding my bike and I realise I'm here on my bike and my pickle is way back there. And I'd be like, see you later, sucker! Go find someone else to put inside you. And, it just didn't happen. The bike ride, I found, no matter how fast I went and no matter how far I went, wherever I was, my pickle was. And the whole thing ended quite badly, to be honest. I ended up in a psych ward. But it was an interesting story. I'll leave it for another time. Quite funny, really. So I came out of the psych ward and I was like, right, that's not the right way. What do I do? And I was like, I know, I'll just stay still. There's so much momentum behind this pickle. If I just stay still, maybe it'll just keep going. So I found myself a nice part of the world. And I was like, right, I'll just stay here and I'll just stay still. And very quickly it became extremely uncomfortable. And I was like, okay, I'll stay still, but I'll get really stoned. And, I must admit, I've tried this for a few other pickles, and it tends to not work that well. It does work a bit because what it seemed to do was just, it didn't get me out of my pickle, but it did kind of make me care less that I was deep inside a pickle, which at the time was good enough, really. And then these things can just kind of build up, can't they? You know, when you just try and numb something, and you just try and kind of keep it over there and just avoid it, well, it just builds up, and it just comes back to get you eventually, doesn't it? And so I realised that's not the way. And it was only when I stopped, when I just made myself stop, I was like, you can't do this anymore. You know this isn't working. So I was like, all right, I'll stop. And when I stopped, I was basically left with a choice again. There's been a few choices I've had. I was left with a choice, and it was kind of a paradoxical choice, because one option was to kill myself, and I've realised that that's not how I get out of this pickle. I've realised that that'd just be really bad. So it's like, it's not really an option. And the only other option was to just really kind of express myself. Just really try to let it go and just let these words come out of me and try and find my voice. Because I've kind of got this feeling like this pickle that I'm in has got something to do with my voice. And it almost feels like the more I'm able to find my voice and express myself, the smaller perhaps my pickle gets, or the less potent it is. And well, I guess it's because I've got a few things to say. The other day, about a week ago, I woke up in the morning and all my housemates had gone, and they'd taken all their things and they'd gone away. And they'd gone away because the mountains all around where I live are all on fire, right? And my housemates didn't want to be on fire. So we sorted out the house, tried to fireproof the outside area as much as we could. And then they were like, all right, well, we're going now. And I was like, yeah, cool, that makes sense. I think I'll just stay. And it's not because I wanted to burn to death. I thought there was a very, very slim chance of that happening. It was just because I really wanted the house to myself. And I was like, well, if this is the opportunity I get to have the house to myself because everything's on fire and so the people have gone away, well, I'll just take it. And it was because I saw my opportunity, right? I was there and I had this choice. I'd stopped smoking weed and I had this choice. It's like, kill yourself, express yourself. I can't do that one, so I'm just going to have to do this one. So I went to the shop and I bought a microphone. And I came home and I plugged it in. And I started talking, just like this, really, into it. But the difference was that when I started doing it, I was barely making a sound. It was really quiet. It's just like kind of whispering a little bit. And I noticed this very quickly. And I was like, wow, isn't it funny that even in this kind of situation, I'm still worried what people are going to think of me. I'm worried that the neighbours are going to walk past and hear me. I'm worried that someone's going to come home and just hear me talking to myself in my bedroom. And it just seemed like a funny situation to be in, because I'm standing there and I'm talking into the camera, and every so often I'm kind of checking. I'm like, are there any flames yet? I can't really see because there's so much smoke. I don't think there's any flames. I reckon I'm good for another 10 minutes or so. And I'm standing there looking outside all the time for fire. And when I'm not looking outside, I'm kind of looking on my phone, and I've got that map on my phone that shows you where all the fires are. And you zoom out a little bit from where you are, and you're like, fuck. It's not just this area that's on fire. It's the whole state. It's the whole of New South Wales. It's just on fire. That's the most populated state too, isn't it? Like all down the coast, just these fires burning. And then you zoom out again, and you're like, wow, fuck. It's the whole country. It's going up in flames. And so is PNG in Indonesia. And then you keep on zooming out, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Why is the whole planet on fire? And it was kind of a combination of these things that I'm just like, for a start, I'm like, why am I embarrassed to make a sound into a camera speaking when the whole world is going up in flames. Get your priorities right, hey? What's wrong with me? Why am I so self-conscious? Ugh. Something kind of weird about it, isn't there? Because the whole reason I was speaking, the whole reason I decided I needed to go out and get a microphone and just start talking into a camera was because there's all this stuff happening in the world that just doesn't sit right with me. So we've got the hot parts of the world just going up in flames, and people burning to death, and forests that aren't supposed to burn. We've got rainforests here and they're on fire. So we've got forests that haven't burned before and they're just burning to the ground. And, well, they're a habitat for all of these other animals, right? And so all of these other animals are dying. And anywhere that's not on fire, it seems like it's getting hit by massive floods. So if you're not going to burn to death, you're going to get washed away. And then, aside from all of the really obvious climate change stuff, excuse me, aside from all the really clear things that are happening to the earth, with it going up in flames and everything, there's also all this other stuff that I just find, I just find it really hard to bear, I guess. So here we've got all these people who haven't done anything wrong, and they're locked up in prisons on islands off the coast of Australia, and they're just kind of told, yeah, you're going to stay there indefinitely because we don't know what the fuck to do with you, so you just stay there, all right? And that's not okay, is it? To just take these human beings and just lock them up for no reason, just because they didn't want to be in the place that they were because someone's trying to kill them, right? So they fled from that place, and we're not trying to kill them so much as just break them, I suppose. So you've got that happening, and then, well, I don't even know where to start, really. There's quite a lot going on, isn't there? I know I've got friends down in Melbourne, and they've been involved in protests recently because there was a big mining conference, and some of my friends, actually all of my friends, have got they've got conscience, right? So when they see that the world is on fire and it's because of fossil fuels, essentially, they find a problem with it, and they're like, oh, we don't like this, and we don't want our money being put into these things, actually, because everything's already fucking burning to the ground, so why would you be trying to make it any hotter? So they've been in these protests, and they're just kind of sitting down or staying in one place, and they're just staying there, and they're like, oh, I'm just not going to move today because I just want to send this message out that I give a shit, I suppose, that I give a shit about my life and about other people's lives and about the earth and about the whole world. I care, right? That's what they're trying to say. And they're getting beaten up by the police. They're getting chemical sprayed into their eyes. They're getting beaten up and they're getting taken away in ambulances, these people. And, well, it just seems kind of fucked up, don't you think? I mean, I suppose we could just consider ourselves lucky, because if you dissent in other countries, you can just get shot dead, can't you? Actually, here you can get shot dead too, but not for protesting. here you get shot dead by the police. Well, you can if you're Aboriginal and you're just in your bed. You can just be murdered by a policeman who just walks into your house and just shoots you. That's what happened the other day. And these are the kinds of things that just, well, they just kind of make me want to rip myself in half and just kind of maybe run down the street screaming, because it just makes me really angry. It just seems kind of wrong that these things are happening. And at the same time, you've got these politicians, right? And I don't want to sound mean, but when I look at their faces on the internet and I read the kinds of words that have come out of their mouths, I just kind of want to, like, I just want to purge, because they just make me feel sick to my stomach. I mean, they're utterly repulsive, aren't they? These men who are in charge, kind of seems like they're in charge of the whole world. Because no matter which government you look at, there's these men and they're, well, I reckon you'd kind of class them as psychopaths. They seem to really lack emotion. It's like they don't have a heart. And it's kind of like they don't care about anything except themselves. They're like, oh, we just want power and money. That's all. Oh yeah, we don't want anything else. And, well, aside from them being just utterly repulsive, I kind of get this impression that they're a little bit out of their depth. Do you get that feeling too? Where you're like, oh, I know you're trying, and it's nice, it's good that you're trying, but I just don't really think you're cut out for the job. Because it almost feels like they're in the way, actually. One of the things I noticed the other day when there was all these massive fires burning everywhere, and well, first of all, I read that Barnaby Joyce, who's a politician, he said that if you burned to death in the bushfires, it's probably because you voted for the Greens. Really? Is that what happens if you vote for the Greens? Do you just go up in flames? Well, fuck. I'm not going to vote for the Greens anymore. In fact, you know what? I just think maybe I'm not going to vote anymore, because it really seems to me like it just doesn't make any difference. Does it? It seems like it doesn't matter what we say, what we do, what we vote for, what we demand. They just do what they want. And what they seem to want to do is kill us. Like, I mean, I know they haven't said this explicitly, but it doesn't take that much to read between the lines and be like, oh my God, I think you're trying to kill us, aren't you? Yeah. And I noticed with the fires that and I really liked it, actually. It's something I noticed and I really liked it. How when you've got these major catastrophes happening and you've got people evacuating their houses and you've got people's houses burning down and you've got people dying, you've got all of these beautiful forests going up in flames and all of these animals, just like hundreds of thousands of animals, just burning to death, and there's just chaos, really. But people seem to figure it out. It's like in these times of emergency, it's when we actually band together and just make things work, isn't it? So you've got people just offering up their homes and offering up their land and giving food and giving money and just offering support. And you realise all these fires that are being fought, they're being fought by volunteers, people who are just, well, people who just care. And so all of these things are happening, and you're like, wow, we're doing this all without the government. And with comments like Barnaby makes, it almost seems like they're a hindrance, doesn't it? These are the kinds of things that are on my mind, and it's gotten to this place where I actually cannot bear to exist without speaking up, because I feel like realistically there are probably people who agree with me, and I feel like there's a chance that there's quite a lot of the good people who just want good things for the world, and there's not even that many of the total arseholes. It's just that they've got the power, and so there's this massive power dynamic, power imbalance in the world, and it feels a little bit like it's because we're not really speaking up. We're not really saying what needs to be said, are we? And the kinds of words that have infiltrated our society and just kind of taken hold of us and just kind of like pressing down on us and like stopping us from hearing anything else are words like, you know, like GDP or growth or jobs and for me anyway, these kinds of words, I'm just like, oh, I don't care about those words. They're really boring, and they don't really like, in the grand scheme of things, they just don't really seem to matter. It seems like there's other stuff that needs to be said, right? That nobody's saying. And I can't help but think it's got something to do with love. Because there's all these boring words being spoken all the time by loads of people. And then there's the politicians who just clearly are like, they're like robots. They don't have a heart. And if they've got one, it doesn't fucking work. Because you can see, they're cold. They're cold. They've got no empathy. They've got no compassion. They don't give a shit about anyone or anything. And they're kind of like controlling the conversation by crapping on about all of these things that we're told we're supposed to care about. And I just don't care about them. You know what I care about? I care about the earth, right? I care about people. I care about other animals. I care about food and water and music and art and love. I just really don't give a shit about economic growth. I just don't. Ugh. I don't know how this works. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's just that, well, this pickle, right? as pickles go, it's fucking massive. It's the biggest fucking pickle I could even imagine ever existing. It is colossal. And I really want to get out of it, right? And I know it's got to do with self-expression. And so I've been writing. I've been doing all of this writing. And it's about myself. And it's about the world. And it's not quite finished, right? And I've got about 100,000 words. And it's close to being finished, but it's not quite finished. And I've got this habit of when I haven't quite finished something, I move on to something else. So now I'm doing this video and I'm like, why aren't I just finishing that book I'm writing? And I feel like maybe I do this a bit, and it almost feels like everything's piled up and the whole universe is just kind of bearing down on me and just saying, finish something. So I'm writing, but I've always got this voice in my head that's like, do something, do something, do something. And I'm like, I'm writing this book thing. I'm trying really hard. It's like, do something more. I'm like, well, fuck. What else do you want me to do? And it's just saying, speak, speak, speak. And so I tried to speak, right? But there's this other voice that I've got inside me, and it's not just a voice. It's this force, right? And it kind of feels like it's got me around the neck, and it's gripped hold of me, and it's just squeezing really, really tight, and it's saying, do not speak, do not speak. And I'm like, oh, get off me, would you? It feels really oppressive, and it feels like this force that's got me around the neck. And it's not just around the neck, actually. It's like it really feels like it's kind of got me here. And it just kind of, it just pushes down on me. And it just, squeezes me. And it makes it really hard to speak. And you know what? It also makes it quite hard to breathe. And I'm just kind of getting to the point where I'm like, get off me! I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick of this thing that's trying to keep me quiet while the whole world is going up in flames. And I don't think it's just trying to keep me quiet. I think it might be trying to keep everybody quiet. Because we're really quite quiet, aren't we? I just can't bear to be here without speaking, because I've got this conscience, right, and it just kind of tells me I need to do something about the fact that everything is absolutely fucking horrible. Sorry, I don't mean to shout at you. I'm not mad at you. I guess I've just got this kind of pressure inside me. I've got this tension inside me. And it's these two opposing voices. And one of them's trying to crush me. And one of them's telling me to become. And so I'm going to try and do what this one says. Because it doesn't really feel like I've got a choice anymore. When you very, very, very nearly die, and you're the kind of person who tends to not really regret things too much. Like, I don't regret very nearly dying, because I can take something from it. And when you really come very close to being dead and you don't, and you're like, oh, whoa, that was a near miss, you're left with the question of what to do with your life. Like, if I'm not going to be dead, what am I going to do while I'm alive? And I feel like what I'd like to do is try to put words to the world. Because I don't know about you, but I find it quite sad. And I don't like to be depressing. I don't like to be negative. And I know we're supposed to, just focus on the good things and be grateful, aren't we? Show gratitude. Show thanks. And I actually think that's something that I'm quite good at doing. I notice things and I appreciate things. But I also I notice the bad things as well. And there's something kind of fucked up about the idea of just being grateful for the good things and not really saying anything about the other stuff. And it just feels like the good things, the number of good things that exist, go down rapidly every single day because we destroy them. And the number of bad things that exist go up because they replace what used to be there that was nice. And it just kind of feels like we're running out of time, doesn't it? It really feels like we're running out of time. And it's funny words, like running out of time. What does that mean? What are we doing? Are we actually trying to run out of time? Like I was trying to ride out of my pickle? Doesn't work, does it? Ah, dear. 32 minutes and 41 seconds. I'll probably stop. But I'll probably keep going afterwards as well. I'll probably just keep doing this because I've really decided that, there's just these things that I've been doing. I'm like, nah, don't want to do them anymore. So I'm not going to be voting anymore because I've decided that's just completely ridiculous. Because it's quite obvious that these men, well, they don't deserve my fucking time. I don't want to tick a box for any of them. I think they're all dicks. And yeah, you've got the Greens and they're, nicer, but nah. I mean, they make you go up in flames, don't they? So I'm just going to stop voting. And instead of voting, what I'm going to do is just express myself. Just express my fury and my sadness and my love and all of these different things that I find inside me. I'm just going to try and let them out. Because there really is quite a lot inside me that I feel has been quite stifled. And I'm at this place now where I'm like, nah. I'm just going to let go of all of these things that try and stop me. Essentially, fear, self-hatred, self-loathing and doubt. I'm just going to let go of them. And I'm just going to say, fuck it. Fuck it all. I'm just going to kind of, I guess, try and express my heart and soul. And see if that's any more fruitful than voting. Because, I mean, well, I guess I just don't like it when we don't speak the truth. And I see these things. I see like these claims, I guess, or whatever, comments on the internet by social commentators or journalists or whatever. And they're referring to there being a threat to our democracy. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, might be a little bit past that. I don't really think there's a threat to our democracy, is there? I think it would be more appropriate to say that we're living deep within a totalitarian regime where the moment you dissent at all, you get chemicals sprayed on you and you get beaten up by the police and you get hospitalised. I think that's more accurate, isn't it? And I just feel like, yeah, sometimes we use words and they're just not that truthful. And, well, it's disrespectful to language, I think, because we've got this thing called language and it's here so that we can communicate. And if you just take these words and you just use them to lie, well, it's like we're not really communicating, is it? It's like we're all just full of shit, just going around bullshitting, and I just don't like it. So, this is my plan. I'm just kind of letting go. I'm letting go of everything because I just can't quite bear what we've got. Alright, thanks for listening if you did. See you soon.